Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the real estate market and what has transpired as of August of 2023. But before I get into it, for anyone who's new to this, my name is Clement. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto area, and in this channel we cover a lot of things to do with real estate. So if you're finding value in some of this video, just hit the like button or subscribe, because that way you're very well informed on what's going on in the market. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to start with is, what do we know as of today? As of last week, we know that the Bank of Canada did not increase the interest rates. As of today, the interest rates are sitting at 5%. The unemployment rate has gone up. The inflation rate is at 3%. The target is still 2%. So it's still away from the actual target, which is why the Bank of Canada has decided to keep it at 5% and still watch, not completely close the idea of potentially increasing the interest rates again, but they're just sitting back watching it because the inflation rate is still at 3% away from that 2% rate. But other factors are playing a huge major play on this, which I'm going to discuss today as of why there should be some confidence in the market, and this is going to bring in more buyers in the market feeling like they can do something in this current real estate market as well. So I want to cover three major points that really are good indicators of what's going on in the real estate market. And this is the average price, the months of inventory, and the number of sales as well. So when you look at the Greater Toronto area, the average price in the Greater Toronto area today is sitting at $1,134,781. This is a 7.3% drop from this time last year. The number of sales as of today are sitting at 49,162. This is a 14.8% drop. Months of inventory is sitting at 2.93%. So when we look at the breakdown of all type of homes in the Greater Toronto area, and what I mean by all type of homes, I mean the townhouses, detached houses, semi-detached, condos as well. So we look at this as of August of 2023 compared to this time, August 2023 last year. The average sale price today is sitting at $1,082,496. Last year in 2022, it was sitting at $1,079,048. This is a 0.3% increase from this time last year. Now, when we look at the active listings today, we're sitting at 15,497. This is a 16.5% increase from this time last year. Last year, we were sitting at 13,304 active listings. The total number of sales today, we're sitting at 5,294,000. This is a 5.2% decrease, which from this time last year, which was 5,584. So it will not be a market update if I don't talk about Toronto, because Toronto really dictates what's going on in the Greater Toronto area. The average price in Toronto right now is sitting at $1,099,063. This is a 5.7% decrease from this time last year. The number of sales in Toronto is 17,942. This is a 15.5% decrease from this time last year. Then the average days for property in Toronto, this is 19 days. And it gives us a month of inventory of around 3.13. This is a clear indication that we're in a buyer's market in the Toronto region. Now, when we look at the all type of properties, again, this is detached condos, semi-detached, and townhouses as well in the Toronto region. So let's look at this from August this year as well, comparing it to August same time last year. So the average price as of August this year was sitting at $1,005,945. This is a 2.5% decrease from this time last year as well. The active listings are 5,928. This is a 15.4% increase from this time last year. So this is a clear indication that a lot of the active listings that are in the market, they're staying in the market a little bit longer. That's why we have a lot more properties in the market compared to this time last year. Last year, they were going really fast. So that clearly shows you we were in a seller's market last year compared to this year. Then the total sales is 1,891 as of today. This time last year, the total sales were 1,892. Another thing I really wanted to show you, which is a good indicator that I personally use as a real estate agent, it gives us good indication of what the pricing are doing and the direction of the price in the Greater Toronto area. And I want to share this with you today. This graph is going to show us the numbers from May of 2019 up until August of 2023. So the first thing I want to do here is draw a trend line. A trend line typically shows us the direction of what is going on with the graph that we have, and shows us clear patterns of what's going on here. And it gives us a good direction, a good indication of what has happened from 2019 up until 2023, which is today. And it shows us how the real estate market has always gone proceeded over the last years from 2019 up until August of 2023. So you can clearly see the real estate market in the GTA has always had this upward movement. Obviously, February of 2022, this was the highest peak of the real estate market that we've had over the last years ever, pretty much in the Greater Toronto area. The average price here was around 1.32 million. So that was the average price at this point. And clearly, if you remember, the reasons behind this was because of the interest rates that we had at this point. So we were getting interest rates of around 1.2. Some were even getting less than 1% or even 2%. You'll snatch somebody's hand right now to get the same type of interest rates. So clearly the government saw this, and you can see this clear depreciation which happened from February of 2022. And the next time we went all the way till the trend line was January of 2023. So this year is when we went back to the trend line. So you can see around here, we dropped up until July of 2022. The prices dropped here, and we were at a sustainable period here during the market where the market was operating at a typical range, like pretty much flash to how the trend line was, which was a good indicator of what's going on. Then obviously when we came into November of 2022, this is during the winter, the market typically drops off and the interest rates were increased slightly. So you saw the huge drop. Then again, there was a pause in the interest rates, if you remember, towards the beginning of the year here. And this is what happened. Once there was a huge pause, the market started having that upward trend. Obviously, the Bank of Canada saw this, and the interest rates were increased at this point. And then that's when you've seen this drop. The drop is not significant. The drop is up until the trend line. So another thing I want to really pay attention to here, the last peak before the huge pandemic period in February 2022, the last peak was here, May of 2021. So if you look at this, look at what this is doing right now. So we're coming back to almost similar prices of where we were in May of 2021, which was around 1.1 million or 1.18. So this is the price range that we're sitting at right now. And now the government has put a pause to the interest rates at 5%. Where inflation still being at 3% and unemployment rate still going up significantly. All these things are making the Bank of Canada just hold back a little bit, because I know the target of the inflation rate is 2%. So they're still holding back a little bit just to see how this is going to transpire and how the market is going to react to this. And there's talks of the interest rates being dropped again in the next 3 to 6 months, I believe in 6 months or so. But if you look at this graph, it shows us that the confidence that the Bank of Canada has in the market, and if they drop it again, you'll see this starting to shoot back up. So this shows us that there's still room for improvement in the real estate market, because one, we have an influx of immigrants coming into the market as of last year, and some who are coming back this year. We have a shortage of properties in the market. You're seeing a lot of areas being rezoned so that developers can go in there and develop these areas. And all these things are going to create a huge pent-up demand in the market that will give us this confidence to our home owners per se. Now, so if you're a buyer, you're not getting into the market at a low point of the market, which is right at the trend line. So this is a huge benefit for you as a buyer in this market. So just make sure you can obviously afford the monthly interest rates, or if you can be able to just sustain it for a year or two, you'll be in a good position because you're coming in at a low market point at the moment. Up until next time, have a good one. Thank you. Bye.